started getting better at CrossFit. I live in that world of like, you were already strong when you got to the gym, but your engine is bad. And no matter how much work I did, my first approach was like, I'll just do more Metcons. 3 Metcons a day. Oh, 7 minutes of burpees. Let's do it again, for the 8th time this week. This is probably 2013, 14. And I got a little better, but it was like, I was exhausted, burnt out, diminishing returns had set in. So I just didn't, wait, there's gotta be a smarter way. So I went to the CrossFit Games in 2016. I was lucky enough to qualify, did pretty well in a couple of events and pretty badly in some others. I walked away from that and went, okay, I need to really be serious about like capacity, like real serious, not just Metcons, not just rowing long, but like, I need to figure this out. And that's sort of where it started. So I put it out there and it kind of caught on Reddit, like, yo, this is a conditioning program that works. And it worked because it was things that I had tried 1,000 times before it finally worked. It wasn't like, oh, I just thought of this. Like, no, I've done all the other stuff. And if you want to destroy your shoulders, do these other things. But this is what I finally figured out over time. And it was originally just a 12-week program designed as like a tune-up. I didn't even go with like the year of the engine builder. It was like, do Matt's program. And in the very beginning, I was like texting people the workouts that I wrote them out by hand, very like just a hobby. Yeah. But it kind of caught on and people were like, this actually works. And again, trial and error, it works because I did everything wrong first. And it sort of got to like, all right, I finished the 12 weeks. What's next? So I had 2 voices in my head. The first is like, okay, they like this. So like, there might be a business here. And the second is like, what is next? Like, I need to figure this out. And the things you talked about before about like the knowledge and the articles, that mostly reflects what I learned as I studied the conditioning aspect of fitness more and more. So I grew it to a year, which is where the year of the engine comes from. And I just thought that was a cool name. It was like, the year of the engine, the year of the snake, the year of the ox, is the year of the engine. Like, just do that.
Sounds like a movie.
Right. Yeah. It's like a movie or I don't know what, but it's just like, it's more memorable than like the Gaines Lab conditioning program. It's like the year of the, oh, that's cool. Year of the, yeah, it stuck. So now I got into that and I started to spend some time with some boxers and some mixed martial artists and sort of understood like the similarities in what they do with what we do as far as like unpredictably changing intensity in the middle of a fight or a workout. Sometimes you're moderate intensity and it gets really high, really fast, and the stakes go up because you might get punched in the face. And then you need to recover from that intensity during the bout. So do you take it to the ground? Is it you avoid the other fighter? And I started to see a lot of similarities of like, all right, I was rowing and now I got to do heavy squat snatches. And that really takes a lot out of me. And then it's wall balls and I have to recover on those wall balls. What does the conditioning look like for that? And that's really what took it from like 12 weeks to 12 months to now it's 36 months. And I have a few people who are all the way through, and at the risk of sounding excessively self-promotional, they're doing fantastic stuff. I had a guy roll like a 16:41 5K on the rower, and he's not a games athlete. He's like a pharmacist. Like, he's a recreational CrossFitter who just like, I'm going to commit to this. And it's working really well. So it went from, hey, here's a tune-up, something I did, had some gains, to like, oh, wait a minute. This is like, people really want more of this and there's more to be done. Mm-hmm. So it was nice when the business aspect of things kind of line up with like intellectual curiosity. And as I'm studying, learning more and testing more, I'm getting more interest from other athletes who are like, yo, if you got months 4, 5, and 6, I'm down for that. And now I have all the way to 36. So it's become the 3 years of the engine, which doesn't catch on as well. I said to one of our other coaches, like, I want to make it 4 years long so I can be like, you have a degree in conditioning. But,
oh, that's cool.
Kind of funny, right? But I also promised myself I wouldn't program just to program. Like, every next stage is a new stimulus to like add to the conditioning side of things. Mm. When I got to the end of the 12th stage, 36 months, I think that's it. I think that's like, there's no, it's like glycolytic power, buffering protons, aerobic capacity across slow, medium, hybrid, and fast muscle fibers. It's all there after 3 years. It takes, back to the beginning of the interview, it takes years. Those are the way to spend the years, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything more to do. It's only going to be an associate's degree, I think, with like a little more. It's never going to be I don't think there's 12 more months needed. Like, obviously, if your goal is to be super elite, you got to keep going. But right. I don't think there's any new stimuli that I need to add. And I think someone who completes all 3 years or even 1 year understands pacing well enough to know what they need, understands fatigue, understands like, all right, when this happens during the workout, it's because my pH in my cells is getting too low. I need to adjust that with this. I don't think most CrossFitters off the street know that. I think some coaches know, but if you complete 12 months plus of the program, you'll pace by feel, which I think is another reason it kind of got pretty successful. Was people were like, wait a minute, like I know how this translates to my Metcons now.
Right.
I'm on the rower. I know this feeling. Like this is when I need to back off. So that means I started too hot. And there's a pace by feel aspect of it that I think a lot of other programs, might not have as well developed.